Welcome back to the
Hello.
Hello.
Blue-lusional podcast, episode 6. We
Episode
are
6.
consistent.
We
And we are
are
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
we are diversity, equity, and inclusion now.
We'll explain that
We
later.
will explain it later, but a little preview. Um, we're recording this on a Sunday, so happy Mother's Day to those who celebrate and should
Happy
be celebrated.
Happy
that.
Mother's Day, mamas.
Mm-hmm.
Mamas to be, mamas who should be here, mamas who left too soon.
Mm-hmm.
You all.
We love you all. Happy
Oh,
Mother's Day.
you all
And
matter.
this week, we've got a lot. We've got a lot going on. Kitty, you want
We
to
got
kick
some
us off?
things.
I will start us off. So the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, is going to be short a couple of commissioners since another one resigned. And as a result, they can't do shit. They're stuck and frozen staff. Elsa said, let it go, and she froze them all. So now this is not unprecedented. This is very much precedented. So we are still going to have free and fair elections in the future as long as we do our jobs. That's the important thing. Continue to call, continue to be upset about it, but just know that this is not something that's like, oh my God, this has never happened before. In fact, it happened twice under the last Trump regime, and it happened once under Bush. I wonder what they have in common. They're Republicans. I wonder if there is a correlation.
Gasp. Who would have thunk it?
Stunned.
Don't know. I don't know.
I, for one, am shocked.
Oh,
Devin could never imagine.
My jaw is on the floor. Please help me pick it up. Please. 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 And speaking of my jaw being on the floor, in an interview on Meet the Press with Kristen Welker, good old Donnie was asked if he should uphold the Constitution, to which he answered, "I don't know. I am not a lawyer. I don't know.
So
I've never read He didn't say he didn't read the Constitution, but I think we all know he has never read it. There it is, right there. He has never once touched it. He doesn't know what's in it. He thinks the Declaration of Independence he has is the OG copy. He thinks it's the original, the one that Nicolas Cage stole in National Treasure. It is not. It is a copy. But yes, he said, "I don't know." He said, I'm not a lawyer," which further proves that he is getting his strings pulled by the Heritage Foundation, Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, Scam Bundy, Blondie Bundy. And it's just,
strings.
it like, we're joking about it, but it's fucking dangerous that a sundowning dementia patient who has never read the Constitution is the one who is sitting in the Oval Office calling the shots. He's not calling the shots because there are people calling the shots for him. He's just there to sign his little KKK signature on all the executive orders that come across his desk that he also has never read.
And sell
puppet.
Teslas.
Yeah, and sell Teslers on the front lawn. That's his job.
Eddie Potts.
Everything's computer.
Everything's computer in here. How nice. Get your Tesla.
Come on.
What is it? 30,000? That's a steal.
Come on down to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave and get your brand new Tesla. Everything's computer.
That's my new red. I think red is a beautiful color.
Yeah.
I can't drive. I bought one anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to buy one right now, guys. I'm going to buy one right here.
Speaking of more racist, dangerous people, if you haven't heard already, there was a woman who was caught in 4K calling a black autistic 5-year-old in a park the N-word. For whatever reason she was doing that. She got caught by an individual who was filming her to document it. He got his information doxxed. He is getting hate mail and death threats for doing the right thing. This woman, Shiloh, has now raised over $700K on the Christian donation site Give Send Go because she claims that the child stole something from her diaper bag and that the person that was recording her had previous trouble with the law. First of all, he was brown, and second of all, how do you know that? If you never, how do you know that he had you don't know him? How
Just
do
trust
you
me,
know
bro.
that? Literally, source, trust me,
Trust me,
bro.
bro.
It's just so many things wrong here. Christian donation site, just take this money, give it to this racist. She's in trouble. They're trying to take away her children. I don't have a problem with that. She's fucking going crazy. She's doing entirely too much. This man getting doxxed. And then on top of that, if you don't remember that girl, I think her name was Lily Gladys. She was on TikTok last year. She was trying to be a trad wife influencer. She's just saying the N word with the hard ER, just letting it fly. Just you get an N word, you get an N word. She just kept getting banned from TikTok. She was basically trying to fall down the alt right, end up on Fox News, caster pipeline. The conservatives shunned her. They were like, "Whoa, girl, you are a little too racist for us, okay? We're only like a decent amount of racist. You're like very racist, and we're not cool with that." So when when the hardcore MAGA and the conservatives are like, "You're saying the N word too much, you're the spawn of Satan," that's a problem. But also, do not give this girl your energy. She is trying to be relevant. The internet shunned her. The conservatives shunned her. It's not worth it. It's more of them trying to rage bait black people into going out in the streets and being like, see, look, they're angry. They're the ones that are starting it. So all these fucking racists, leave them alone. Don't let them zap your energy. Give, send, go.
Look at the pretty rocks. Give your energy to the pretty rock. Don't give it to
Give
them.
energy to the fucking rocks. Don't give it to the racists, okay?
Give your energy to people that are out here trying to make a difference.
Yes, rocks over racists, okay?
Right.
Not crack rocks.
Here's the thing. This party, all they did this entire election run was say they don't have any money. They can't buy homes. They can't buy groceries. Their kids can't eat lunch. And yet they're the ones giving money to Shiloh.
Maybe you could have saved that for some eggs.
Maybe you could have saved that money and given it to children who are starving at school. Maybe you could have given it to people who need winter clothes. Maybe you could have given that money to yourself, because a lot of you that did that are in North Carolina, Florida, and you're screaming that FEMA hasn't given you money for your water damaged house. Maybe you
And
could
why?
have taken that money and put it towards your own home.
Yeah, because Daddy said
Just
you can't
saying.
get FEMA money anymore.
Just saying. I'm like, take everything this party says with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, they don't care about money. They don't care about anything except being racist and getting
And
away with it.
billionaires.
And Shiloh is catapulting that we can just do that and it's fine. And we give you money.
Fuck that shit.
Don't give it your energy. Don't repost the video. Don't. They want us to talk. And we're talking about it now, but we're talking about it to tell you to stop.
Yeah, we're talking about it to tell you to not talk about it.
This is
Don't give
what
the clout
happened.
chasers.
They're giving them money, so we need to just. They want us to talk about it. They love it. So if we just don't give them their energy, they're going to crash out.
Rocks over racist.
Rocks over racists. Okay, ROR. It's your phrase of the week.
I have things that we should be talking about to fill the void. Because veterans, I'm going to need you to listen to this one. This week, Trump went on the hot mic, as he does, and said that he's doing a rebrand of Veterans Day. Veterans Day isn't looking like what he wants it to look like. AKA, veterans are veterans for everything, anything you serve. Some veterans have gone to war, some haven't. But what we're going to do is we're only going to celebrate World War I Victory Day. World War I, Victory Day, and it's now going to be May 8th, and Veterans Day in November is a no-go. And also, there's no days off for any veteran celebration because we already take a lot of days off and we already have a lot of other celebrations. So, no celebration, no taking off work, and we only are celebrating as of right now veterans of World War I. So if you fought in any other war or served your country in any other way, you're going to have to wait your turn whenever he decides to put in a new day for you. Because he did say maybe World War II's coming. World War II
Doesn't
Victory
know.
Day might come down the pipeline,
He
but World
doesn't
War
know.
One.
He doesn't know when they took place. He doesn't know when they happened.
Probably thinks World War I is the most recent world war.
Here's the thing. I'll get into why it's insane that he's picking World War One to celebrate. But this is coming from the mouth of a man who has dodged the draft not once, not twice, not three, not four, 5 times. 5 times because of the bone spurs.
Beatsy's hot.
He has chose to go to a golf tournament at his own country club rather than be at the Dover airport to pay his respect to fallen soldiers. He is actively allowing veterans to suffer under all of his executive orders. He is allowing military members and service members to be grossly underpaid. Military families are struggling to put food on their table, for health care, for good housing. And now we have ICE just coming on in and arresting spouses of service members while they're deployed and they don't even know what's happening.
Read about that on Substack.
We've covered that. So with all of that happening, he thinks now is the time. I'll win them over. I don't know how he thought he'd win them over, but he picked World War I. And might I say that this man was caught years ago when he was invited to a cemetery that had fallen soldiers from World War I. He said, "No, I'm not going to go. They're all losers."
Remember that?
Remember that?
I do.
Campaign trail when he gave a thumbs up over graves.
Yep.
So he's picking World War I to celebrate, but he called them losers?
Which one is
Or
it?
he's only picking World War I, so any other war, World War II, if you were in Iraq, any.
Oh, I have a theory. My theory is because before World War II is when we beat the Nazis.
Can't celebrate that.
Yeah, and
World
they're back.
Or then. So now he wants to be the new leader.
So, veterans, now's the time. I know you guys have already been mad, and this should really just send you over the edge because this is just the most blatant disrespect I've ever seen.
Along with trying to, usurp the military parade for his own birthday. Just
like, he's really, laying into you guys right now.
Yeah,
He's got a bone to pick.
If you're feeling a little bit 1798 France, then...
Or at least pick up the
Go
phone
ahead.
And start calling, go to your town hall.
1776 American, come on.
Yeah, pick one.
If you're in a deep red state, go to your town halls and sit there and tell them to tell you to your face that they think you're a loser and they don't care about you. And get it on camera. Just saying. Just saying.
Bet they won't.
Let's be real. They care very little about you, about as much as Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz and everybody else cares about our national security, considering they're still using Signal Chat or clones of Signal Chat, both of which are extremely hackable, and that has been shown to be very, very true by the fact that Signal Chat suspended service due to hacking. I wonder what could have prompted somebody to want to hack Signal Chat recently. I wonder what happened recently that could indicate that something important and very, very, Shut the fuck up, Siri. I wasn't talking to you.
She said, uh-huh.
Oh my God. This is why I don't use this
She said,
stuff.
She agreed with you.
This is why I'm down. Week, you're going to be a pencil and a pad of paper. Oh my God. So, yeah. My iPad's about to be fucking hacked at this point. Where's this?
They heard you.
He heard you. He said, "Who you calling? Who are you saying did anything wrong?"
Oh, yeah, this would be funny if it weren't a national security threat.
They're on to us.
Pete, if you're listening, put down the bottle.
Yes, okay. We don't want to be part of your signal chat, bro.
Mike, if
Off
you're
my
listening, you're not Tim Walls.
No.
and my
And
Bluetooth. It
you're not
all
qualified to run the UN or
Airplane
be
mode.
the ambassador.
Airplane.
Yikes.
Goodness.
And we got more yikes, Devin.
Yeah, a big yikes.
It'd be our own.
First of all, I am begging the 4 a.m. clubbers, the Blue-lu-lus, the people who still think that somebody's going to come in and save us. I am begging for you to just read. Just read. Now, there's an article, not an article, a court case that is flying around. It's a lawsuit, and it sounds juicy. ICC prosecutor Eric Iverson sues the Trump administration for violating the Constitution. Ooh, everyone's like, this is it. This is what's going to give him the silver bracelets. It's
Everyone
not.
record.
Immediately, without reading shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the first page, people. All you have to do is read the first page, and it tells you that Eric Iverson is suing because, if you remember back, the Republicans, I want to say it was either January or February, put forth a bill that would sanction the ICC for essentially operating in America, doing anything in the United States. This stopped Eric Iverson from being able to do his work investigating war crimes in Sudan. He is suing because he wants to continue investigating war crimes in Sudan, not the United States. Sudan is over there. We are over here. Please just read it. People are hope mongering.
A really cool kind that's a leapfrog. You tap it with a get out the country. I can loan it to you, or we can do a nice little set one day where I homeschool us, like I'm gonna homeschool my kids.
Or
it's necessary.
It must be.
We read it because, guys, we're educated.
We are.
We're a party of very highly educated individuals, and if you are concerned about what it says, there's so many people you can reach out to. Now, I will say that it's on both sides. We have fear mongers and we have hope mongers. And this is a hope mongering because this is saying, guys, this is it. This is the big thing. Now, what you're seeing is the same people that were told by their spirit guides that the way this was going to happen was not going to be the way we all thought it was going to be. That's what a lot of them said. They were like, whatever happens, it's going to be something that we were like, what? That's the thing that made this all happen? Guys, because this looks like kind of not the thing that would make it happen, they think it's the thing. And so they're going on and they're making videos, and we're watching a lot of them have to do follow-ups because they made the video before they even read it, and now they had to go back and read it. Some of them read it and are still doubling down that it means something. And we're not...
read it and just put it into ChatGPT to summarize it for them.
Yes, and ChatGPT is 2017. It doesn't understand anything past that unless you train it to with articles and knowledge. It's not the end all be all.
Barack Obama was still president. I'm just saying.
Like, I asked it a question the other day stupidly about Trump, and it said that Mike Pence was the vice president. It still thinks this stuff. So I'm just saying, now is more than ever the time to do your own research, check sources, and just, if it doesn't feel right, then your gut's telling you something. Listen to your gut. Listen to Kitty as she says, use your discernment.
Use your discernment, and also use your head. There's a bit of intuition involved where your gut and what's inside is going to tell you, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't seem right, and you're going to question it. If you're questioning things, that's good. Mm-hmm. Even if better if the person you're questioning has an answer, or if they don't have an answer, they accept that they don't have an answer and say, I don't know, let's find out.
And if
Because
you ask a question and they get defensive and they
that's
get angry,
here.
because that's what happened. And also use like past knowledge too. A lot of these people were the same people that said, you know, the inauguration day was never going to happen. We saw it happen. A lot of them said that it happened, but it was going to be over by the spring. We're almost to summer, and a lot of them said we were going to get, or we were going to see martial law on April 20th, and we had to get on here and say, guys, no, no, no.
And as the like home spiritualist of this group here, I have to say, I felt like I really was holding down the sanity of the entire
Oh my
discourse.
God, yes,
Oh, yeah.
like the only one.
Was fear or hope core mongering going on. I felt bad, but I'd have to whip out and be like, guys, I'm not getting this. This is the complete opposite of what I'm getting. I'm getting, yes, he's going to be inaugurated. Like, I think I was one of the first people to be like, yes, he is.
You were the one
Yeah.
that said I see him in office even past the year.
And nobody liked that answer.
No,
And
they
I
did not like that answer.
No, I hated that. I didn't want to hear that.
I personally was like, Kitty, you can't tell me that because I believe you and you're telling me what I don't want to hear.
And I felt so bad. Like that whole day when everybody was like basically live tweeting it in the Discord, I was watching puppies and kitties on my. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. I know at this point it's too late. Anything that could have been done or anybody should have done is long since past. And frankly, it was because of too many of these spiritualists pushing this idea of divine intervention. And sorry, but how many people have watched Supernatural? Chuck don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, Chuck don't give a fuck. So we have to do shit ourselves.
Yes.
And we have to be willing to face uncomfortable truths. And we have to be willing to do uncomfortable things if we want to enact change. So I can sit here with my pendulum all day long, and if you want, I can pretend and say, yes, everything's gonna be fine.
Start speaking in tongues.
He's totally not gonna be inaugurated.
Give us a message from the Galactic Federation.
I could do that all day long, guys. I do not ever want to install false hope. And part of my predictions involve logic. These things are just tools. A lot of my messages are intuitive, but I can't discern them all in my brain. It's too much, too chaotic, it's too cluttered. Anybody who says, oh, I can just get the mess, they're fucking bullshit lying to you. I'm sorry, they fucking are. Not everybody needs tools very, very explicitly. I just have to give this warning because I haven't had the chance. Y'all,
Just
you have
listen to what's being posted and look at the times. I will say I'm not accusing anyone of anything. This is just what I've seen. Sometimes you'll see something from somebody and then it'll start popping up on your feed more and more people because they watched that video and then they took that video and made their own version of the video. And then you're like, well, if 5 people said the same thing and they're all intuitives, they all have to be right? And it's like, no, sometimes I think they're seeing the first one and being like, that sounds right. I'm going to post about this too. And the more people that post, the more you think it's real. And that's what happened with martial law, where it just spiraled.
And it just spread.
Knitting Cult Lady was fighting for her life, knitting and telling us it wasn't going to happen.
Mocking her for saying that it wasn't going to happen.
She was like, guys, I don't know how many more times I have to say this. So this is our plea to just
use logic.
Just use logic and put your energy into things and stories that matter and need the energy. You know, I'm going to give you a nice update, and there is good and there's bad. And this is what we've been facing every single week. And this is the stuff we need to put our energy towards because it's getting worse. This week we have Jimena Arias Cristobal. She's 19 years old. She's a current college student, but she graduated honor roll. She had a job. She was a babysitter. She contributed to society. She was pulled over, making a mistake that I know all of you have made, which is turning right on a red, which most places you can do, but she didn't have her turn signal on. Okay, I am in Florida. Nobody uses their turn signal here. It happens. You would think she would just get pulled over and given a citation, a ticket, and be on her way. Well, she didn't have a Georgia driver's license, and she didn't have any license on her. And what did they do? They arrested her, and they detained her, and she ended up in ICE custody. Her father was arrested weeks prior and detained by ICE, and we believe that's how they made the connection and handed her over into ICE custody as well. That entire family has been living in Georgia for over 15 years, since she was 4 years old. They have been here, they work. Her dad, I believe, owns his own company. They've been paying taxes. They've raised their kids. They've contributed to Georgia where they live. They've built communities. She's, again, honor roll student, no criminal history. And here we are. I made a video about it because it needs to be out there. She's 19 years old. She is a child. And the comments that we got on that video made me sick to my stomach. Like, Devin had to tell me to stop arguing with them because I was really emotionally invested in this one because I remember when I was 19. Like, I remember being 19. I was still a baby. Just because you're adult at 19 does not mean your frontal lobe isn't even fully developed.
Nope.
I can't imagine how scared she is, especially having never been pulled over or had any interaction with the police prior to this. To go from that to ICE is wild. So I was like fighting for my life in these comments, people saying they've been here over 15 years, they should have had legal status, this is her fault, why is she driving without a Georgia license, blah, blah, all these things. And to that, I have to say, I was fighting with these people because she applied for DACA to be a dreaming child. The problem is when she came here when she was 4 years old, they were already on year 2 of not accepting new applicants for DACA. So she was unable to apply for that. There's only so many things you can apply for, guys. So her family, after that, started applying for work visas because he has his own company. But they've been facing roadblocks. And throughout all of this, they've paid taxes every single year. So the legal system isn't the same for everyone. It is not a linear, straight path. You don't just apply for citizenship. You have to apply through certain channels, and there are roadblocks for a reason. We don't address that. Instead, we just deport everyone. We're never going to make it better. We have to address the problem, which is why had this family lived here for 15 years and couldn't become legal citizens? They paid taxes, they built a life, and the family she babysits for stood up and immediately called it out, and they set up a GoFundMe. As of Friday, when I made the video, it was well over $30,000, which is just amazing because she needs the help. She is by herself. They are not letting her speak to her mother, and they've told her mother and her siblings that they're next. The lawyer was like, they're probably going to be arrested as well. So we're here to say we're going to put the GoFundMe for her in the link of the podcast. If you can donate, that is great. If not, if you could just spread the word on this, because she is a child. She is a child, and I know she's terrified, and she's not with her father.
$700,000 on a woman being racist and hurting a child who will remember that encounter for the rest of their entire life and will be deeply affected by that for the rest of their life. And you can give money to the person who caused that harm, then you can give money to somebody who is suffering.
Yes. So
Facts.
That's my plea. And when we do raise our voices and we do draw attention to the fact that this is cruelty, things work in our favor when we stand against it. And we just saw it the other day. Rumeysa Ozturk, she is the PhD student from Tufts. She was snatched in the streets by plainclothes federal workers. Why?
Mass.
Masked.
In
Terrifying.
4K.
In 4K on video because she co-wrote a student op-ed
Years ago.
critical of Israel, using her rights to have an opinion, to say what she wants. She's not a terrorist.
This was
There's
a
no
year
hate crimes.
of this, by the way. This was not a recent thing. This was
No.
like over a year ago that she
Yes.
this op-ed
Mm-hmm.
that they arrested her for, well, that they kidnapped her for and sent her to a concentration camp for. This was not normal. We do not do this to students for sharing their opinion. I
No.
know. I worked at a college. We tell them the right of free speech. And the amount that goes into an F1 visa to get an international student into a university or college is insane. The amount that they have to prove, they have to actually have the funds in order to provide their entire college amount. They have to prove that they have all of the funds before they even get the visa to come here. They have to show like actual banking information, statements from the bank to state that they have the funds to come here and pay for school
Yes.
before they get a visa to come here.
So they thought she was a national security threat, so they stripped that visa from her and they sent her 1,700 miles away to a detention center, aka concentration camp in Louisiana, where she shared a cell with over 20 other women. She was not given any medical care. She has asthma, so she had multiple asthma attacks while she was there. It is a dusty ice facility, therefore she had asthma attacks. And they finally brought a nurse to her, and when the nurse arrived, the nurse said, "Take that thing off your head," pointing to her hijab. So that is how she was treated. But tell me again how this isn't Islamophobia and political suppression.
I want to tell Caroline Levitt to take that thing off her,
Her
neck.
neck.
See how well that
And so she got her hearing because everyone was loud about this. She lawyered up immediately. I can't believe it even took this long, but here we are. The judge heard the case. The DOJ couldn't even pretend they had anything on her other than that student op-ed. Sorry, that student op-ed that she had written.
still waiting on Kilmar Abrego Garcia. But this is a good step because releasing people, if they're releasing the homegrowns and the ones that have been detained at home, then it's very likely.
That's 2 we got so far.
Yes. And let me preface, she writes programs for teenagers. She is a mentor for fellow students at Tufts. She comforts cancer-stricken cats. And she is currently helping her professor's mother's mom with her bucket list trip to Turkey. That's who is a national security threat. You made her miss her studies, her students, her entire career,
Her friends, her life, her dignity, her religion,
her health,
economy.
all of it. And so this is why we do what we do. If you ever ask us why we do this, why we put ourselves on the line for this, why we antagonize people online, this is why. This is why. This is not a time to be silent and be afraid to speak up. We're not antagonizing people online. We're telling the truth of what's happening. And that's the truth. And we'll be back next week for another freaking ICE update.
Hopefully it'll be a good one. More releases.
Hopefully we'll have Kilmar back. Every week I'm going to say that until he is.
Well, we didn't run out of ice tomfoolery yet, right?
Not yet. ICE has also arrested a mayor in Newark and then promptly released him because, truly, It was a protest. Investigation is ongoing. I'm going to throw my best reporter voice on here. Additional actions may follow. Mayor Baraka maintains that he did not break any laws and was exercising his right to protest, which is a First Amendment right.
Mm-hmm.
He has stated that he will continue to speak out against what he views as a violation of his city and its laws. This event highlights the ongoing debate over immigration detention centers, aka concentration camps, and the role of local officials in overseeing federal facilities or other federal camps within their jurisdictions. I hope you enjoyed it.
Basically, he is doing what we all want our reps, our mayors, our senators to do, which is it's happening in your own jurisdiction. Why aren't you there? Hakeem, are you listening?
Are you
Come
doing?
on, buddy. We
Are you
love to elect criminals here. So
You know,
this man seems like he locked in his governorship.
I just
seemed like?
I just don't know. I'm not know
All I'm saying,
why.
if I was his constituent, I would be voting for him no matter what he ran for.
Oh,
As
he'll
long
get arrested for me?
Vote. All I'm
Come on
saying,
now.
just
Come on
remember
now.
it.
baby's asleep.
And just join the movements that people like us are creating, and we've got one coming up that we are joining in on. Devin, you want to tell them about it?
So us Blue-lusionals, we are trying to promote and organize a general strike called the People's Sick Day. Shout out to Angel and Caress for coming up with this grand idea. Okay? So the whole idea is 3-day general strike. The dates will not be released yet because the big corporations and the people with the monies, they like to monitor these apps and they like to find out what we're doing. So it is a sneak attack. So don't ask when the dates are because a lot of people are asking. And we keep telling you, we'll let you know. We're not going to leave you in the dark. 3-day general strike. If you can't do all 3 days, take 1. 2, use the PTO that you have earned at your job to take the day off. We're asking you to take vacation. Economic blackout. Do not spend any money, okay? We're taking a page out of the playbook from the French. They are known for organizing their strikes. They are known for being able to shut down the government and make demands and get their demands met, okay? And that's the thing with these protests. They're good. They're great. We're not letting them know what we want. We want
And
gonorrhea impeached,
we do. And
removed.
we need him removed, not just impeached, but removed.
The entire administration, Medicare, Medicaid, universal health care for all, $20 minimum wage for all workers, the removal of big pack corporations, money, what have you, all that shit from politics because these people have no business being the ones that are essentially drafting up the legislation that is being put forth.
And the blood of
So,
born child. That's
We're just,
so
it's basically saying we are the ones with the money to give you. You want us to spend money? You want us to go to work and continue to drive the money factory? Okay, we have some demands before that happens because the way things are going now, why would we spend money? Why would we go to work? Why would we do anything? Why would we give any energy to anything when you're actively stripping away all of our rights every single day?
exactly. Like, I'm not
Doesn't
providing.
sound right.
I refuse to put my kids in daycare. I refuse to put them in public school when they are actively harming children and they are actively not paying teachers and daycare workers and anybody a living wage. At the same time, it costs an entire month's paycheck to put one child in daycare.
it's a second mortgage.
Or 4. When I
Yep.
had in daycare. It was a cheap daycare. 3 days a week was $180. If I wanted 5 days a week, it was $250. And that's cheap.
So, what we're saying is we know that not everyone's going to be able to take multiple days off. If you can, do it. Everybody who has PTO, everyone who has sick days,
If you do,
use them for something like this. Use them for something that's going to cause mass panic
and if you're worried,
That's the
for big
point.
consumers, because if we're staying
uh,
at home, no money is going anywhere.
nope.
And
And
we
I'll
mean it.
if you're like my old boss, they don't want you planning your sick days in advance. So that's one other reason why we're not telling you guys when the sick days are. Because they don't want us to plan our sick days in advance. That's what vacation days are for. So, guess what? We're going to use our sick days.
We're going to use our sick days. And if you
And
have
if you
to go to work, give 10%.
Yeah.
Give
Don't do
give
shit.
a lot less. Don't do anything. So stay tuned. We're going to continue to cover it until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And when it
So,
happens, be ready.
yeah, be ready.
Be on
But
standby.
while we're on the topic of things that we're sick of, I'm very sick of Republicans throwing a little hissy fit every time they can't win an election. So the North Carolina Supreme Court race that was wrapped up in November did not wrap up. It actually wrapped up last week. The Republican Jefferson Griffin, who was going against Allison Riggs, had lost by about 700 votes. Now, typical Republican fashion, he says, no, I don't like that. I don't want to lose. I'm going to sue. I want a whole bunch of these valid votes that were good to go thrown out. He wanted 60,000 votes thrown out because he couldn't accept the fact that one, he lost to a woman, and two, that he lost by 700 votes. So he wanted to specifically target these overseas military that were sending in their mail in ballots. So here's the kicker. So he wanted to say that they need to be cured, that their signatures needed to match, that they needed to see if their driver's license matched. Now, how long do you think that would take for that to happen for overseas military? Right. So good job to everybody in North Carolina. Everybody in the fucking country spoke up about this one. All right, we weren't having that shit. Okay, we weren't having that shit. Thank you guys for helping out Anderson Clayton down there with the North Carolina DNC, because this would have been very bad. Because if they were able to steal this seat from Allison Riggs, that would have been the Republican playbook moving forward. If they were to lose any election, throw a hissy fit, say, I don't like those results. And I mean, they already do the gerrymandering and suppression, but this would have been it. This would have been, we're going to sue. Let's toss these ones out of here. We don't like those ones. Oh, cool. We win now. So good job. Pat on the back for everyone for getting that one out.
And it's a perfect example that goes back to how just because the FEC is down a person, one too few to do their job, doesn't mean the courts are ignoring theirs. So again, just because somebody's not doing their job doesn't mean we're out of democracy. We are still in a democracy as long as we kick and scream.
Facts.
Voices. And
so I can set this one.
they need their therapy, don't they, for their male fragility?
They do. They honestly need to seek therapy immediately because
Quite a bit.
they really do be hating women, and it definitely has something to do with their childhood. Therapy is available.
Yeah. Does the Pope hate somebody who has some white male fragility?
I'm pretty sure that JD Bowman has some mommy issues, or else why would he change so many times and now have a stage name of JD Vance? I mean, I don't know, but he is so foul that not only did Pope Francis hate him, but Pope Leo the 14th does too. And now don't get me wrong, this Pope has some growing to do if he does not believe in the legitimate rights I cannot for that. I cannot for that. I heard that on TikTok. So,
I love it.
so, he has some growing to do, and he'll get there. In the meantime, he does have a lot of things in common with Pope Francis. And if you join me on my free tarot and witchcraft Substack, which you will find if you go to our Blue-lusional Substack, then you will see that I did a tarot reading for Pope Leo XIV, which I was surprised about because it was very grievy.
Yeah.
I mean, and when I thought about it, this young man, he's only 69 to become a pope. That's actually young. And on top of it all, once you become a pope, any other plans or desires or dreams or thoughts or places you want to visit and stuff you wanted to do with your autonomy, that's out the door.
That's it.
Quit being like a cardinal bishop or, whatever Pope Leo was before. You can't really quit being the Pope. I'm sure there would be some type of thing where you would have to leave the papacy, but like papacy. I'm not.
Catholics, let us know.
Papacy, I think it is.
Catholics, let us know in the comments.
We are not the three to ask.
I do apologize for anybody who's offended by this because it is a truth that does need to be swallowed. Catholicism is witchcraft for boys.
Cooking is.
And her book on it comes out. Just kidding.
You perform spells with blood magic. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to swallow that hard truth. All religion goes back to the same basic understandings and truths, and that branches out into all religions. And I took world history and world religions in high school, so this is one of the things that I remembered very vividly and talked about and argued with a Christian person in my class who thought Indians weren't Asian because only China was Asia. About you.
God.
Speaking of arguing.
Yeah, speaking of arguing, the boys are fighting.
The daddies are fighting.
The daddies are fighting. Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel is allegedly at odds with Trump because Trump feels like he's being manipulated. Oh, he finally noticed it. I don't buy it, but the reasoning is that Trump wants a diplomatic solution with Iran to take away their nuclear weapons, while Prime Minister Netanyahu said, let's blow these motherfuckers up right now. I'm used to that shit. So it's giving the same shit to me as when he says, oh, I am so mad at Putin. I'm going to put tariffs on their oil. I'm going to put sanctions on Russia. Yeah, Daddy, stop, please. Stop the mass murder, please. No, I'm not buying it.
But Daddy, I love him.
Daddy, please.
Daddy, please.
Daddy, please stop.
Like,
it's too much.
Surprise that dictators don't all think exactly alike. Like, Netanyahu's like, blow the whole thing up, and Trump's like, well, no, I want things. You can't blow it all up. I want the Gaza Strip. I need to put my hotel on it. Stop.
Didn't you see my AI where I had the golden statue in the Gaza
myself?
Strip?
You can't blow it up. God forbid.
Yeah, but my take is that exactly he wants to blow up and take the Gaza Strip so that way Trump can be like, oh, well, we were fighting and I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't even involved with that. That wasn't me. He did that all on his own. I wasn't even his friend. I took him out of my top 8 on MySpace. We're not friends anymore, okay? That was all him, okay? Plausible deniability, because we're not friends anymore.
Oh, no. Well, we hope the boys kiss and make up soon.
I hope they can kiss and
I
make up.
hope they can have a little hug it out,
Hard.
Yeah.
My Trump card.
Oh yeah, that's the Trumpy card. He's all orange
How funny is it
and
that this
upside
is up
down.
both times?
I know.
The emperor has no clothes.
And the emperor's trying once again to just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're basically seeing that basically every federal judge is blocking this administration no matter what. And they're just handing them L's. L's, L's, L's on L's. And they can't, disappear thousands and thousands of innocent human beings like they wanted to. So, what are they going to do? Find another way around it. And that other way is floating the idea of suspending habeas corpus, which, if you don't know what habeas corpus is, it is basically our right or everyone's right to due process. So, a lawyer, court hearings, trials, innocent until proven guilty, all of that, habeas corpus. So if they get rid of that, they don't need to do any of that and they can continue their disappearing act. So they're floating that. Now, the Constitution, very black and white. You can't interpret it like you try to interpret the Bible. So there's only two case scenarios where you can have habeas corpus suspended. One would be a rebellion, so an insurrection using violence against the government, kind of like January 6th, am I right? Or an invasion, a foreign power that threatens our national security. So they chose that option because that one sounded the most like what they wanted. So they said that one right there. The invasion one, we're going to use that because we're being invaded and we can't tell you anything more. We're just being invaded, so we have to use it.
Trust me,
Now,
bro.
here's the thing. The Constitution, it's black and white. So it says the only person or the only body that has power to suspend habeas corpus is Congress. Just like martial law. The president can't wake up one morning and go, press the button. It's Congress for a reason.
And if he does, Congress can get up and say, "Oh no, motherfucker, no, you can't."
Yeah.
Just like South Korea did. Take
So, if he were to wake up one day and do it, Congress can go, oh, hell no. And Supreme Court can go, oh, hell no. And trust that how they've been acting with just each individual case, that they're not going to allow habeas corpus because they know what that means. So this is my plea to not spiral this out of control like we did for martial law. We don't
Please.
need, we are
A
not
lot-
mongering.
And Congress people are lawyers or they went to law school.
Jasmine Crockett.
They have some understanding, even the Republicans who went to law school, who may not have been, top of their class, C's get degrees, we see you, but still.
It's just my plea with the fear mongering. It's not going to be like martial law. We saw it. That didn't happen. Habeas corpus is not going to send this country into a spiral. It is not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. So everybody, let's all take a deep breath and keep it moving. It's obviously something that we need to keep in the back of our heads. And I would say learn your rights and keep it up. Just keep up what we're doing. And with that,
If you're a redhead,
In better news, redheads, I have great news for you. You're black. Okay? You're black people. All right? There was someone on TikTok who said, redheads are black people. If you see a redhead man, that is a black man. If you see a redheaded woman, that is a black woman. And everyone was like, that's so funny. Haha, there's no context. Hilarious. Yes, we have shared experiences. But then she went further into detail. And she said that the Irish were also on the plantation with the black people. And that all Irish are descendants of a certain Haitian from back in that time. And that is the red hair, the freckles, it is melanin. So I am just so happy that I have so many new cousins. My entire For You page is just redheads just jumping for joy, saying I am black. Thank God. I always knew it. There's like I always knew it. I always knew it. There's something I just felt. I just felt a connection that was there, and I said, you know what? Hell yeah, cuzzo, hell yeah. And right now, I want to let it be known the word ginger is a slur. There's a hard ER at the end of it. We're not saying ginger anymore. That is their word. They are the only ones that can use it, and they can only use ginger. So don't do it anymore. You will refer to them as redheads, and that is that. Casey here is a redhead. Therefore, she is a black woman. All right?
Making fun of her for her red hair's dye. Right.
Yes. I feel like this is my time to say that I am so honored because growing up as a redhead, and I mean a redhead with all the freckles, being bullied because of my red hair and my freckle face, as they would say, and being the only redhead in my family. Don't know how that happened. Only redhead, very Irish. When I came out, they said, "Here's your Irish baby," because I was a redhead covered in freckles. So, just letting you all know, I was never accepted before this. I apparently have no soul, which is fine, honestly. But now I feel accepted. I'm part of community. I feel just happy.
But
And
see,
yes,
now
I
that you're
agree. I've
black,
always
you
known it.
have
There's
all the
always been a
soul.
part of me.
Yeah, that's why we
There's always
vibe. We're
been.
both born in July. We're both black. This is a strong black woman right here. Okay, this is a diverse
I will say,
podcast. Okay,
I hadn't seen this video, so I opened up our talking points, and all I saw was redheads are black people, and so I just wrote next to it to Devin, and I said, "Wait, I'm a redhead. What is happening?" And his face
context to
popped
come.
up tonight, and I said, "Devin, I need to explain that because did you just come up with that? Because if that's the case, we can't talk about that.
You can't just say that. You can just
Say
no.
that.
All right,
We're gonna get
redheads
canceled
are black
so
people.
quickly if Devin comes on here and's like, Casey is black."
And you know what? If it's not true, fuck it. It's true to me. All right.
Gotta go back and talk to Elliot Reed on Scrubs and, ick about redhead and be like, race.
Yeah. So this podcast is brought to you by DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. All right.
I'm included now.
Yes. All right. This is a diverse podcast.
It is a
Two
diverse
black people on it. All right.
And speaking of diversity,
Yeah.
we're
Speaking
going
of
to talk
Africans.
about.
Oh my goodness. I kind of stole this one because as a alum of Stetson University.
No, we're not there yet. We're talking about South Africa.
We're still talking about black people.
God, I'm going to interject here with my degree.
Fine.
Stand by. Hold the degree up. Stand by. We're going to get to that. First, we have to talk about South Africa. Basically, Trump is saying when he's first 100 days, he said, no refugees. Okay, we don't have any room here. No refugees. We got to get a lot of people out. We can't bring anyone in. Well, apparently, if you're white, that's a different story. So he has chartered an entire plane to go pick up 49 white South Africans and bring them to the U.S., calling them refugees. And yeah, you're hearing the word refugee. And no, not a refugee from war, from violence, from famine. No, from South Africa's land of reform, where they don't want everything to be run by wealthy white people. They would like to start sharing the joy to everyone. And the white people said, that's not what we wanted. We wanted all the wealth, all the power, all the land. We want it all. We don't want this. So who do they call the most racist of them all? Trump daddy. Daddy, pick me up.
Please.
Daddy, pick me up, please.
I'm
and he
scared.
said, the plane's on its way. Okay. And now he's going to say, I saved these refugees. And he's saying that they are experiencing race-based persecution. They are. So we know what's going to happen, guys. All 49 of them are going to be photo-opping it up. in front of the White House. There's going to be cameras everywhere. They're going to be kissing his feet. Trump's going to be like, it's a great day in America. Make America great. I saved all of these people from persecution. Meanwhile, we have refugees facing war, famine, political violence. Don't know if they're going to live to see another day. But they can't come here. No. Only if you are white. White and you want
black,
your
though.
money and you're wealthy. And
You're
then he will charter a plane for you.
Wait, you gotta glow like me. There we go.
Yeah. Casey though, that's
See, I don't glow as much.
See,
There we are.
my whole life is a lie.
No lie though.
I just unlocked a new level.
Exactly.
Smashing buttons, leveling up. All right, now the degree.
I'm sorry. I'm just stoned right now. I can't. That is me just like being stoned. Like,
She said, "Oh, South Africa. Let me pull out my degree."
Oh, my degree.
Watch this.
Because we do not comply in advance award. This week it goes to Harvard
Again.
University. Because the way that they corrected and sent back, almost like they were assigning homework and said, "Ooh, this was an open book test. Try again. I can tell you did not even open yours." My goodness, my Stetson degree from a private law in Florida. We see each other. The grading, the circling, the comparison of words. I don't have it in front of me. What were the comparisons that we were talking about earlier? There were two words that were circled that we.
Yeah, the funniest part where it was they were saying, Harvard is
like something about ours
the racism.
or yours.
Yeah, it was when they're saying Harvard is doing their racist practices, and it was it's or yours.
I love it.
S tier trolling right there.
It was amazing.
We love you, Harvard.
I adore it.
Way to go.
So happy. And the TikToks that have come out mocking even more beautiful. Yeah. They have filled my page with such glee today. It is.
Way to go, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Linda, listen.
Linda, listen, Linda. And as a runner-up, Mr. Parnas, this young, brave man, you may not always agree with him. You may not always think that he is 100% right or wrong, whatever you think. This young man is doing a service. He is standing for what he believes to be right. He is sending news to everyone free, making sure that everybody has access to it in every possible way, and he's burning himself out in the process. This is not an easy thing for anybody to do, and he's doing it more or less alone. Mm-hmm. All of that work is a threat to the current regime, and they are trying to scare him into silence, and he said, fuck you.
No, this is the truth.
They don't want the truth. They want him to be silent. They know that he is the largest out of all of them. And he's just like the one you all go to. If something happens, you're going on TikTok, you're going on Substack, you're going to Instagram, and you're seeing when Aaron Parnas is talking about it. Mm-hmm. And yes, two things can be true. You cannot agree with certain things, but yes, he is delivering you on-demand news at all hours of the day. And so, of course, they're going to come to you.
Bathrooms. This man is recording on the plane in the
bathroom.
Dedication.
He is recording while out to dinner with his wife. He is recording on his birthday. He is recording at costume parties dressed up like Luigi. This man is on it 24/7, 365. I was thrilled when I saw he took a break the other day. I was like, yes, sir, you rest. Everybody got this for a day. Mm-hmm.
What'd you do, Lena?
So, Aaron, we stick by you. You're not going to get arrested. We're not going to let that happen. But this is what they're doing. They're normalizing it. They're trying to scare the top of the top so that all the rest of us get scared and shut the fuck up. Too bad, so sad. We'll see you next Monday. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep yapping. And we have some new things to yap about on Yes, That Really Happened. But last week, we had another overall win. And the overall win was MS-13 tattoo. That was definitely not photoshopped. It was real.
It was real.
So real. That won in a landslide. I kind of knew that would probably happen. This week, we've got some new ones. So we're starting off with Linda writing her letter to Harvard and Harvard giving her all the corrections. Very funny. Very good. Next, we have Trump saying, I don't know, when asked if he should be upholding the Constitution. He doesn't know. Next, we have Trump thinking Mattel, a toy company, is a literal country. I need you guys to hear that again. He thinks the toy company, Mattel, is a real country. And if that is the case, I need him to point it out on the map to me. I want him to point it out. And he's going to tell us probably somewhere near China.
They're going to tell him Barbie Land is real and he's going to tariff them.
Mm-hmm. So,
He's gonna-
yeah.
And Barbie, she and I had a great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked to the Kens because we all know the Kens are really the ones that are in charge.
But that you can only have one Barbie doll. Don't get it twisted. One Barbie doll.
We will be doing a peace deal with the Mojo Dojo Casa House.
You can actually have all the Mojo Dojo dolls. You can have all of them as long as they're white and male. No tariff on white male dolls.
No tariffs.
But only
on the
girls
Kens.
can have them.
They're exempt.
Next, we have the new form of LinkedIn, which is Fox News. So if you're looking to hire, just go straight to Fox News. We have host Janine Pirro, who is loving a whole box of wine to herself. She will now be the interim U.S. attorney in D.C. Her and Pete love to drink, so I am sure this is going to go over so well for them. And yes, if you are hiring, don't spend money for a LinkedIn hiring job ad. Just go to Fox News.
Yeah.
Just go straight there.
People, how many Fox people have we hired into the government at this point now?
23.
23.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we understood with Ronald Reagan that hiring a TV personality was not the best idea, but apparently we need to learn that lesson again.
Yeah,
But-
no, we won't be learning it. We won't. This is the one thing we're never going to learn.
Increase it tenfold and then double that.
Yeah. But last but not least, we have Trump snoozing away at the UK deal announcement live on TV. And when I mean live, I mean live. And when I mean he was asleep, I mean they were zooming in on this man and he was barely breathing. Like I thought they were going to check for his pulse.
REM. He was in REM
In
sleep.
REM sleep. I said, Melania's over there like,
Dreaming about Alcatraz.
her bag's ready. It's packed. She's ready to go. She's just waiting for that time of death. And he was snoozing. So all of you that said Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden, what's happening with Sleepy Donnie?
It's all right. We'll wait for you to give you his talking points as to why he was sleeping on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
He's
We'll
gonna
wait.
say that he his eyes were shut because he was really trying to feel what was happening. But if that's the case, you nod along. You're like, mm-hmm. No, he was like,
He was the pictures, you could tell other people around him.
No, that's the thing.
it's it was like the way your dad falls asleep on the couch and you're like, Dad, you're asleep, and he's like, no, I'm not. But he was like,
I'm not.
I was just resting my eyes. And then JD just looking at him, not knowing what
It's
to
like-
do with his arms.
Like, Dad, I was still watching. Dad wakes up. I was still watching that. No, he's
JD Vance is like, am I the president now? Am I the president now?
Finally!
Bless you.
He was on the edge of his couch.
It's our time to
Waiting.
shine. Superstar.
Anywho, there are a lot of funny ones, so I don't know where it's going to land this week. But as always, please,
Mattel country.
I think Mattel too.
1000%.
I think it's going to be
1000%.
Mattel, but I do think Linda might throw some in there. We might get some for Linda because that's actually very
Yeah.
funny. But
Yeah.
poll is in the description. You just scroll past the description. It's right there. YouTube, put it in the comments. Or again, you can DM us, Discord message us your answers. We love to hear them. And this is episode 6.
Woohoo! When I on Substack, I will also post the poll there, so you can vote there
Go
on
on
Substack.
Yes, and
Yep.
like I said, we are posting multiple times a day on TikTok. We cross-post onto Blue Sky. Kitty is holding it down, writing everything on Substack. And she's also
Everything.
posting our videos on there, so we have backup because we know
At least what I
TikTok is
remember.
not forever.
Sometimes I don't.
It's
But-
not. Most of it's on there, you know? And then we are in the Discord, Blue-lu-lus. You can find that on Kate the Sarge bio if you want to join in. And then we are going to start interviewing, hopefully, like within the next week. We're going to start interviewing candidates. We have to meet and figure out how we want to do this correctly.
We're going to see who wants to talk to us.
We're going to see who actually wants to talk to us, because I don't know if they're going to actually want to talk to us. But we want to talk to them. So stay tuned. We're going to have some grassroots candidates, because if you're going to give your money anywhere, you should be giving it to them and not to the DNC.
Anybody who does come on with an interview with us, I will be doing free tarot readings for you as well, if so desired. If so desired.
And we'll get the
Let
transcript
us
to
know.
put it on Substack after the fact, too, for people who don't want to listen and just want to read it. So stick around for all of that. And if you like what you see here, please listen all the way through, rate the podcast, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, follow us on our socials. All it does is support us to let us continue to do it. Hit the buttons. Just hit them all. Just light this page up.
And follow the hashtag TPSD for the People's Sick Day for updates on the general strike. Stop asking about the dates.
And we need to start hijacking the hashtag DEI for
DEI for just us. So if you're hashtagging DEI, it's because of us.
Delusional. Diversity.
Yes.
Equity.
I love it.
Inclusion.
But thank you for sticking around and listening this week. There was a lot going on, and we will see you on Monday. Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See ya.